And right now we are 2 minutes away from the end of the trading day. Romaine Bostick alongside Sally Bakewell taking you through to that closing bell. It's a global simulcast. Carol Massar joins us from the radio booth. Look at that. Emily Graffeo in today again for Tim Stanovic. Welcome to our audiences across all of our Bloomberg platforms. Carol Massar, we got a little wind up here as we parse the most crucial moments of the day. That's the end of it. What do you want to talk about?
I don't know. Stocks are going to end lower for the week overall. We've got some buying, certainly a little bit more of a risk on trade, but it really kind of hides what we've seen in terms of some wicked volatility, especially on the Treasury side of things this week. A lot of movement around.
Yeah, and a lot of buying kind of outside of the bond market, perhaps to hedge, perhaps to find safety, but we are seeing gold higher and Bitcoin higher as well today.
That's right. We're just looking for signs of the debasement trade everywhere, with capital looking pretty aggressively rotating out of bonds and into hard assets and structural growth equities as well.
It was kind of a quiet week when it came to earnings, but of course that's going to change in a few days. We get NVIDIA on Wednesday, and then of course the other big catalyst, Carol, next week will be that Jackson Hole Symposium. A lot of high expectations there.
Yeah, absolutely. Everybody's going to be listening to what Fed Chair Kevin Warsh has to say. Do we get more specificity? Does he give us some metrics, things to watch out in terms of what the Fed might be doing next? It's a big question. Yeah,
a big question indeed. And, speaking of a big question, I'll just point out for our viewers right now, a redhead crossing the wire. This involving Anthropic, the company that we all assume is going to go public soon at a very large valuation. That company continues to make moves on the staffing side. The redhead saying that Anthropic hires Google chip veteran as it pushes into hardware. Green on the screen for all of the major indices here in the United States. So we should point out, as Carol was pointing out, all of the major indices are going to finish the week in the red. For the day, though, the Dow adds 500 points, or 1%. S&P 500 adds 33 points, or 0.4%. The NASDAQ composite up about the same, 0.4%. The NASDAQ 100 up 0.3%, and the Russell 2000 closing out the day higher by about 0.9%.
All right, so Romaine, let's go back over to the S&P 500. You do have a majority of names higher in today's session. Sally, you've got 332 names higher in the S&P 500, 170 lower, and one unchanged.
That is right. We are seeing that healthcare is one of the big drivers today, helped a lot by Moderna, and then communication services doing pretty well, as well as financials. But information technology and utilities and, of course, energy are driving things down.
All right, guys, let's get to some individual gainers, if I may. Let's go to the number 2 gainer in the S&P 500. It is the top gainer in the S&P for the week overall, I should point out as well, up 129% for the week overall. We're talking about Moderna. I mean, man, this one has been on a move, adding another almost 9% in today's session. We saw the stock soar on Wednesday, a record move there, adding that day alone about $44 billion in value. Gave some back yesterday, but again, another move to the upside, a top performer, as I mentioned, in the S&P. Shares were up, as I said, for the week overall. The stock now up more than 400% year to date. About 13% of the float is short. A lot of numbers. It's just, whoa, superlatives for Moderna. Excitement, as you know, earlier in the week over a personalized vaccine developed by Moderna and Merck that reduced the recurrence of melanoma in a large late-stage trial. So that helped raise some expectations for treating the deadliest form of skin cancer. Also, taking a look at a body of science when it comes to using the body's own immunity to fight different things and different diseases. So that kind of gave it, that thinking and that strategy, a boost as well. I should point out Merck also hitting an all-time high in today's session as well. That stock up, though, at the close about 2.4%. Let's take a look at retail. A lot of retail earnings coming your way. Ross Stores, top in the NASDAQ 100, in the NASDAQ, I should say. That stock up about 4.4% at the close. The off-price retailer boosted its earnings per share forecast for the full year. Company said it saw strength throughout the second quarter, with comp store sales growth supported by both an increase in new customers and higher engagement from existing customers. So those are two pretty strong tailwinds there for the company. And then I'm just going to go over, staying in the retail sector, guys, BJ's, Wholesale Club Holdings.
I'm sorry, what?
BJ's?
No.
Wholesale? What's the matter? What's the matter now?
Nothing.
You're going to miss me. I'm going to be away for 2 weeks, so get it all in right now. All
Aren't you just away for 2 weeks?
No.
I need your contract.
You've been...
Wow.
Look, Agents not too bad. Yeah. All right, so BJ's is up about 5.6% here, rising after the retailers' comp sales and adjusted EPS for the second quarter top street expectations. Management also raised its annual earnings guidance, and so that also lifted Costco, which we saw moving a little bit higher in the session as well. That name was up about 1.5%. Keep in mind that one reports results on September 24th. All right, Emily, all yours.
All right, let's get to the decliners. The memory trade really getting crushed not only today, but kind of for the last 2 months. Micron is the poster child here, finishing the day down about 0.7%. But this stock has been ripping, at least for the first half of the year. It still remains one of the top performers in the S&P 500 year to date, but the shares way off their highs, getting crushed today. Alec Young, CIO or Chief Investment Strategist at Money Flows, which is a quant research firm, telling Bloomberg the smart money is moving on from that memory trade. The fact that they've given up a lot of their recent bounce in just a couple days shows that there are a lot of weak hands. And we're kind of seeing that with a lot of these chip names as well. NVIDIA was lower today, so not a lot of fundamental news right now, but really just kind of the momentum just getting kind of taking the air out of that. Boston Beer, ticker SAM. This is a beer company. Their brands include Truly, Twisted Tea, or Twee, Samuel Adams Beer. Do you want to say something, Romaine?
No.
You're going, yeah. You know all these brands. Angry Orchard, Hard Cider, and Dogfish Head Craft Brewery. Listen, this stock falling, closing down about 3%. They announced that their chief financial officer will be leaving the company on September 14th to accept a new opportunity. The shareholders didn't like that, and the analysts didn't as well. Citi said that Diego Reynoso's exit is a meaningful loss to Boston Beer, given his key role in the company's margin recovery program. So I guess good for Diego, but maybe not so good for the shareholders and the company here. And then finally, Ubiquity. This stock down. Yeah, I got 3.
Wow. Just keep going. Keep going. You got this.
He's like, trying to throw me off my game. You know, Romaine, I'm going to be with you next week.
I'm going to get him in a moment.
I'm going to cut you off because we got to go early, and I want to release the Dachshunds.
What?
No. Did you see this story?
Yes.
This is important.
Let's get to it.
Because when we talk about what's moving up to the top of the leaderboard, forget Moderna, Merck, all that, Dachshunds, they're moving up the top of the leaderboard. For the last several years, the #1 breed of dog out there has been French Bulldogs. But rising up the charts, the sleeper, if you will, the Sandisk, the Micron of the dog breed world, is a Dachshund. It was #5 last year. After being #10 just a couple years ago, it could overtake it this year. Look at those
little legs. Hey, just talk to Veronica in makeup, man. She's got 2. She used to have another one. Man, she loves these dogs, and they are just adorable. I see them all over on the street, too, as well. A lot of people have them.
They've taken the world by storm. They say they're like the perfect city dog. You know, they're small, they're relatively quiet.
Because I love and adore you, before I go and I'm heading out on vacation, I just want to make sure the next time you take a vacation, if you're thinking about learning some skills, perhaps, Romaine, they now are doing luxury travel trends where you can learn skills.
A skillcation.
That sounds awful.
I'm just saying, if you want to add to your repertoire.
No.
Rock climbing, skateboarding.
Sally, I don't know how you do
my feet up.
I don't know how I do it.
A couple of little those tiki. Oh man.
Hey, look, you could learn anching and broadcast journalism.
Wow. All right.
I love you.
You need a Dachshund. Loosen you up a little bit.
Miss me a lot. All right.
We'll have to get those beers and those Dachshunds.
Have fun
That
on
is a wrap.
seas, wherever you're going.
Hey, you got work to do on that side, I hear.
I do. Serious work. I know
Work
the clothes.
with the quotations.
Yeah.